Too good to be true, right? But it is true. I didn't believe it at first, but it is true. In just
Slow mo, a switchblade on my body.
Hello, my people. How are you doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. To all my old subscribers, as always, this is J telling you, I love you. And if you are meeting me for the very first time, don't worry, I will tell you my name. Okay? This is Juliet Momo, but you can call me J. That is what I'm popularly called. In fact, call me J because for a very long time now, I'm used to that. Because if you call me any other name apart from Nurse J, I may forget you are referring to me. Enough of the jokes. All right, guys, in this channel, I talk about, you know, talk about some exciting things. Okay, be sure to subscribe, kindly turn on your notification bell, okay, so that you will be the very first to be notified whenever I post videos, okay, because you wouldn't want to miss out on my juicy content. All right, guys, please don't forget to like this video, share with your friends as well, and then leave a comment below. Okay, guys, in today's video I will be taking you to New Zealand. Okay, guys, in today's video, enough of the joke. I play a lot. In today's video, we'll be talking about how to become a nurse in New Zealand. Some nurses are not aware that apart from Canada, USA, UK, there are other countries with lots of advantages for nurses. When I mean lots of advantages, I'm not exaggerating, guys. There are other countries that you can explore. There are other countries you can maximize your potential as a nurse. Okay, one of these countries, in this channel, I will be unveiling these countries for you one after the other. Okay, so I'll be talking about New Zealand in today's video. Okay, I'll be talking about New Zealand in today's video, how you can relocate to New Zealand to become a nurse there, and how you can, in fact, the process, that is the requirements you need, the cost of relocating there. I will share it with you in this video. So guys, sit back and let me take you on this ride. Okay, guys, let's dive into the video already. But before then, guys, just chill, take a chill pee. Let me tell you some of the advantages that await nurses in New Zealand. Number one, New Zealand is a very beautiful country. You wouldn't even want to argue with me on that. Mhm. Another benefit of relocating to New Zealand is that they pay nurses per experience. Isn't that amazing? If you ask me, that is awesome. Per experience. That means if you have 20 years of experience in your country already now, when you relocate to New Zealand, you'll be placed on a scale that is suitable to you per your experience years. Guys, you don't have such benefits in UK. If you like, have 30 years of experience. If you relocate down to the UK as a nurse, you are still going to start from this crash. You will start from the very bottom and work your way to the top. So, another juicy benefit. Guys, this one will blow your mind. Another juicy benefit that is waiting for you in New Zealand is that in just 5 years of your stay in New Zealand, you can become a citizen. Hey, what? In just 5 years, you are already a citizen of New Zealand. Too good to be true, right? But it is true. I didn't believe it at first, but it is true. In just 5 years, you're already a citizen of New Zealand. No, that 5 years in UK is for you to, apply for your indefinite leave to remain like a permanent resident, then you now have to wait for maybe another 5 years to become a citizen. But within these 5 years, you are already a citizen in New Zealand. Well, guys, let me leave it at that. I'm not here to tell you all the benefits of relocating to New Zealand as a nurse. So now, what are your requirements? What is required of you? Okay, I think you are waiting for that one. I think somebody is already interested now, so you want to know what is required of, isn't it? So come with me, let's go and check. Okay, guys, first of all, for New Zealand, it involves 3 steps. Okay, you need to submit. First of all, you have to do credential verification with CGFNS Credential Verification Service. Okay, you will verify your credentials with CGFNS Credential Verification. Okay, Credential Verification Service. That is number one step. Then, when you are successful with that, you will then inform the CGFNS to report or to send your report to Nursing Council of New Zealand. So you have 3 main steps. Number one is to verify your credentials with CGFNS. Okay. Number two is to inform CGFNS to send your report to Nursing Council of New Zealand. And number three, Nursing Council of New Zealand will then send you an email to start your application or to start your registration process with them. Simple. So I will tell you the requirements for your credential verification with CGFNS. All right. So number one is this this stage actually involves 5 main requirements. They need 5 main requirements from you. So let's check. Come, let's check. Number one is your identity document. So we click open. Okay, so your identity documents. Remember, I always tell you that you should have your international passport. If you are relocating to any country, your international passport is one mode of your identification or is a form of your identification. Okay, so have your international passport if you don't have one already. So they are requesting for something else apart from your international passport. They said your international passport is mandatory, is required. You must submit your international passport. Then with any other form of identification. So they need you to submit notarized copies of 2 forms of identifications. 2 forms of identification, of which one is your international passport and any other could be your driver's license, other government issued photo identification, birth certificate, marriage certificate, divorce certificate. Okay, so you can actually add any of these to your international passport. Okay, let me tell you something. According to their website, CDFNS do not accept original copies. So anything you are submitting to them must be in must be in photocopies. Okay. So how do you notarize these photocopies? Because it is required of you to submit notarized copies of 2 forms of identification. You go to an attorney in your country, a lawyer, then or any notary public in your country. You go to the person, show this person your original documents, okay, and your photocopy. Okay, CGFNS only require your photocopy. So when you show this person your photocopy, the person will compare both. Okay, when he has finished comparing both, he will now input his stamp and signature. This act alone will signify the CGFNS that an attorney or somebody that is recognized legally to notarize document has seen the original copy of the photocopy you are submitting. So the person have confirmed that it is the photocopy of the original. Okay, so it's just like the person have attested to the fact that this photocopy you are submitting, they are gotten from the original document. He has seen it. So that is the meaning of notarized. So let's go over to the next requirement. So we have number two is your employment history. Okay, your employment history. Guys, this is where I will talk about your experience. Yes, the benefits of relocating to New Zealand is, is awesome, but you must have at least 2 years working experience. 2 years working experience, that is 2,500 hours. You must have worked for 2,500 hours in the last 5 years. In the last 5 years. So this means that your 2 years working experience should be within the last 5 years. All right. So if you have been working for now and you recently completed 2 years working experience, this message is for you if you are interested. And if you have been working for 10 years, if you have been working since 10 years ago and you are still in service and you want to apply, this is also applicable to you. Okay, so basically they are looking for somebody that have at least 2 years nursing experience or 2,500 hours of work during the last 5 years. And the document they require here is that they require a self-declaration to provide evidence that you have worked as a nurse for at least 2 years in the last 5 years. So you have to get a self-declaration, okay, for that to prove that you have actually worked for 2 years in the last during the last 5 years. So guys, let's take a look at the third requirement. Remember I told you you need five major things here. So guys, what is your third requirement? Your third requirement is your education history. So before I run you through that, let me quickly tell you that they need you to have bachelor degree. Okay, you must be a bachelor's holder. Okay, you must have a bachelor's degree of nursing science. All right. If you don't have bachelor, okay, you have you have diploma. Okay, you are still interested in this type of post and you want to relocate too, don't worry, you can also relocate, but you have to relocate via an enrolled nursing or via an enrolled nurse. Enrolled nursing is kind of a nurse assistant. Okay, so you have that option for you. But for today, in order for you to have their license, in order for you to be registered as a nurse in New Zealand, you must have a bachelor degree or any other certificate, yes, or any other certificate that is comparable to a level 7. Okay, any other certificate that is comparable to a level 7. Now, this education history, how do they want you to present it? If you go to the applicant portal, after filling your form, they will inform you how they want you to present this document. Okay, they will give you, they have two options basically. It is either they tell you to submit them directly by yourself, or they will ask you to inform your school, your institutions, to send them the required document that they need, such as your transcripts, your certifications, things like that. So if you are submitting them by yourself, they will give you the address is there for you to upload them to. But see it here. If you have been advised by CGFNS to provide evidence of your nursing qualification to CGFNS directly, okay, then you will need to do the following. Complete a legal self-declaration to CGFNS about your nursing education. You upload to CGFNS a copy of your academic transcript and then upload to CGFNS a copy of your qualification certificate. So you upload it to them. But if they want you to send the information, if they want your institution to post them the document, the information, you are going to get a form on their portal. Okay, you print that form out and then forward it to your institution. Your institution will fill it out, then bring out the necessary document they required of you and then post it to them. Let's leave here now and go to the fourth documents you need for your CVS, which is your CGFNS Credential Verification Service. Okay, now your license validation. As a nurse, you should or you have heard about verification. Okay, so this is your verification. This has to do with your nursing board, nursing and midwifery council in your country. CGFNS requires documentation of all nursing licenses held by you in the last 5 years. So you have to, this must be provided by CGFNS by relevant license issuing authority. So you have to start your verification process with your nursing and midwifery council back home. You give them the address of the requesting board that is, requesting it, because they need this information. All right. So the fifth one is your language proficiency. Have you been waiting for me not to mention English proficiency? Hmm. New Zealand is an English speaking country. Obviously, they will require you to provide your language proficiency if you claim to be good in English language. So you must provide an evidence to show that you can speak English at least to a satisfactory level according to them. So how do you present, what document is required of you? It is either you present IELTS or you present OET. The same band score that is acceptable for UK is what is required of you. So if you are submitting IELTS, you need to score a minimum of 7 in all modules except writing, 6.5. Then if you are submitting OET, you need to have a minimum of 350 or a B, and C plus in writing. That is 300 in writing. So that is what is basically needed. It is either you provide IELTS or you submit OET. Okay, and one beautiful thing again is that they accept clubbing. They accept clubbing. So if you couldn't get your required band score in your first result and you took another one, you can merge them together. Okay, provided it is within 1 year, you can club your results. Okay, so guys, these are the 5 major things you need for your verification with CGFNS. Okay, now remember I told you it involves 3 main steps, right? Now if you are successful with your CGFNS credential verification, the next step is for you to inform CGFNS that they should send your report to Nursing Council New Zealand. CGFNS will email you your report. So you are going to see your report, whether it is approved or not. So you are going to see the report even before they send the report down to your requesting Nursing Council, which is New Zealand. And mind you guys, there are other CGFNS verification service. When you are doing this, be sure to open CGFNS verification service for New Zealand, okay? Because there are other CGFNS verification service for other countries like USA. You understand, right? Okay. So when you're successful with your CGFNS credential verification, it is now time for you to tell the CGFNS to forward your report to Nursing Council New Zealand. All right, so you will now have to inform them to forward your report to Nursing Council New Zealand. So this takes about 3 working days to be completed for New Zealand to receive your report from CGFNS. Okay, when the Nursing Council have received your reports, they will email you for your application process. Okay, that's for your registration process proper. So this is when you now start your registration process properly with Nursing Council New Zealand. Okay, now let me take you through that journey. Okay guys, before we go over to the requirements you need for your Nursing Council registration process, let me tell you that the process of credential verification with CGFNS will cost you $300. This will cost you $300. Okay, you can convert that to your currency. Okay, now for your registration application fee with Nursing Council New Zealand, okay, for your registration application fee with Nursing Council New Zealand, you have to pay 485 New Zealand dollar. 485 New Zealand dollar. Okay, the first one is in US dollars, then this one is in New Zealand dollars. Now let's go to the requirements you need for your registration with New Zealand Council. So your requirements with the Nursing Council is based on seven standards. Okay, your requirements with the Nursing Council is based on 7 standards. So 5 of those standards you have already completed with CGFNS. Okay, so you have easy access to those documents already. Just take a look at this now. Your identity. Okay, your identity, you must be able to prove that you are who you say you are. So I've explained that before. Your English proficiency, I've explained this also. Okay, I've explained the band score for your IELTS, the score for the grade for your OET. Okay, so let us not just waste time with that. And they accept clubbing as well. Then the third thing is your current registration. Okay, you must have been registered, which is a verification. So that is for that. So I'm just running you through this to let you know that you have already passed this process with the CGFNS. Okay, so then nursing qualification. Okay, I've explained that your certificate must be comparable to a level 7, and that is a bachelor's degree. Okay, then the next one is post-registration experience. I've explained this before too, that you must have a 2 years working experience during the last 5 years or 2,500 hours. Okay, the next thing is, okay, these are the 2 major things that you didn't do with the CGFNS, which will be requested of you here. Fitness to practice. Okay, fitness to practice. This means that you have to submit a police clearance. Okay, this is where you submit a police clearance. Remember, I did not mention police clearance since because it is not required of you by the CGFNS. So this is where you need your police report or criminal check. So that is under the fitness to practice. So you must provide police clearance, for any country you have lived in for 12 months or more in the last 7 years. Before it was in the last 10 years, but now it is in the last 7 years. So if you have lived in 4 countries for 12 months or more, you must provide criminal report check. Okay, so you do your international criminal history checks. All right, then the last but not the least is your adaptation course. Okay, it is called competence assessment programs, CAPS. Your adaptation course, competence assessment program. So here, for those in Africa, you will have to apply for visa. Look for universities that are offering this course. Look for universities that are offering this course in New Zealand and apply for your CAP program. You search for the university that are offering CAPS. Okay, get admission into them. Then it will take you just about 6 to 12 weeks to complete. Okay, then travel down to New Zealand and complete it. That is the only place you can take this CAP, I'm afraid. Okay, so when you are done with this CAP, you then complete your registration with New Zealand. You become a New Zealand registered nurse. So that is it. Now, let me tell you something. Remember, okay, I told you the cost before, 485 New Zealand dollars for your nursing council registration process. Okay, then the cost of your CAP varies from one university to another. Okay, everything I've been talking about since basically is for those that are outside the UK, Canada, outside USA, outside Singapore, outside Ireland. Okay, so if you are not practicing as a nurse in Ireland, UK, USA, Canada, Singapore, you have to complete all those processes, all those steps. You have to complete all those steps that I have mentioned. So if you are from any of these countries, or if you are practicing in any of these countries I have mentioned or I have listed, you are exempted from some things. Now, the exemption is that for your IELTS or proof of language proficiency, you'll be exempted because you will just apply for a waiver. It is also in the website. You just click on the waiver. When you get to the language proficiency section, just click on the waiver, okay? Then they will just strike that one out for you. But you must be practicing in these countries for at least 2 years in the last 5 years, okay? Then you must also be registered in these countries. So why they are waiving your English proficiency for you or your language proficiency is because they believe that these countries, before you can become a registered nurse in these countries, you must have submitted your proof of language proficiency. So that is why they are waiving it off for you, okay? Because you can't register in these countries without your language proficiency proof, okay? Then another thing that you are exempted from is the CAPS, the Competence Assessment Program. You will not have to do that anymore because you are already registered in these countries, okay? So they believe that their practice is kind of, similar. They are kind of similar. So you will not have to do the competence assessment programs, or you will not have to go to New Zealand to complete the CAPS anymore. If you are registering from Australia, it is pretty much easier because, in fact, more than half of the process will just be cut off for you. So you just go ahead straight and do your registration with New Zealand Council. That's all. Then if you are registering in Australia as a New Zealand registered nurse, it is still the same process it is still the same short process for Australian registered nurses. Okay, so you just have to cut more than half of the process and then register in Australia. So what I'm trying to pass across is that if you're a New Zealand registered nurse, it will be very much easy for you to become an Australian registered nurse. Okay, so and vice versa. So if you're an Australian registered nurse, it is very easy to become a New Zealand registered nurse. Just a quick recap. First of all, you apply to CGFNS for credential verification. Okay, you apply to CGFN. So you apply to CGFNS CVS, that is Credential Verification Services. So you get your credentials verified. Then you tell the CGFNS to send your report to Nursing Council New Zealand. And basically your requirements are your identity, your employment history, your education history, your license validation, your proof of proficiency, then police report, and then CAPS program, that is a competence assessment programs. So those are basically your requirements. So we also talked about the cost, that if you're applying to CGFNS for credential verification, you have to pay $300. And then if you are applying for your registration with New Zealand Nursing Council, you will have to pay 485 New Zealand dollars. Okay. Then I also went ahead to tell you that the CAPS programs is only available in New Zealand. So if you are to take the CAPS program, you will make arrangements on how to go to New Zealand for the CAPS. You search for the universities that are offering these adaptation courses, and then you have to do it for 6 to 12 weeks, between 6 to 12 weeks. Okay. And we also talked about that if you are practicing as a nurse in UK, USA, Canada, Singapore, Ireland, you will be exempted from taking the English proficiency test again and the CAPS. Okay. You will apply for a waiver, okay, for the language proficiency, because it is assumed that you are already a registered nurse in these countries with this requirement, okay. Then for the CAPS, because the practice is kind of similar in these countries, you may not be asked to take the CAPS or the CATS. You may not be asked to take the CATS or the Competence Assessment Program, which is the adaptation course. So guys, I hope this information hits the right spot, okay? So if you are not cleared on any area you want me to talk about again, just leave it on the comment section, okay? And don't forget, this is based on my research and it is on their website. If you need more information on this, you can get it on NCNZ, okay? Just get it on NCNZ. I hope this information hits the right spot, okay? I hope you have more understanding now about what is required of you to migrate to New Zealand. So if that is the case, please subscribe if you have not done so. Hit on the notification bell so that you will be the very first to get notified whenever I post videos. Remember, I told you we'll be exploring all countries, okay, and how to migrate to these countries. So I don't think you want to miss that. Share with your friends who you feel or you think may also benefit from this information, okay, guys, and then hit on the like button and leave your respectful comments below, okay, guys. I will have to leave now. All right, bye bye. I'll see you next time. Bye.